Uh-oh. I'm in screen.
Hello, Indivisibles. I'm here to highlight something that is keeping me up at night. And I know this group really understands what I'm about to say.
Oh, sorry.
I know we're all focused on the 2022 midterm elections, and they are incredibly important. But we also have to look ahead, because you know what? Our opponents certainly are. Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election. And they're not making a secret of it. The right-wing controlled Supreme Court may be poised to rule on giving state legislatures, yes, you heard me that correctly, state legislatures the power to overturn presidential elections. Just think, if that happens, the 2024 presidential election could be decided not by the popular vote or even by the anachronistic electoral college.
Oh, anachronistic because they want to get rid of that.
State legislatures, many of them Republican controlled.
Those extremist
But there's also
Republicans.
good news in the face of this very real threat to democracy. Indivisible has launched Crush the Coup to make sure we're ready to defend democracy in 2024. They've put together a list of critical races in 6 key states and how you can get involved. Can you support Crush the Coup by donating to Indivisible?
The left can't meme, and they can't come up with a name. Crush the Coup? Why don't you make it sound more like something I make in the toilet in the morning? Crush the Coup. Crush the Coup.
And state legislature candidates. Each of these races is highly competitive.
She's staring right down into the, look at that, my good, staring into the pits of your soul, and she's sucking it out. She's sucking your soul out right there. Oh my goodness. Oh my, look, that. You've been a bad boy, everybody. You have not been crew crushing, now have you?
And your dollars could very well decide the winners.
I'm asking you one more time to give me money. Okay.
And the winner of the next presidential election. To overturn, yes, you heard me that, to rule. And they're not making a secret. To literal, our opponents certainly are. Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election.
Clip it. That was Hillary Clinton. I think I got the right mic now. Let me make sure that I got the right mic. That was Hillary Clinton engaging in some of their election denial. Hillary Clinton is a conspiracy theory pushing election denier. And she's an election denier predictor. She's a predictive election denier. She's an election denier. You know what I'm getting at. People, you might notice a couple of things here. Let me just start off by saying, okay, I've got the correct microphone at this point in time, correct? Okay. You may notice a couple of things different. I am an idiot. Oh, I don't think the echo's bad because I've got the mats on the ground, but I've gone back to the old backdrop, but I've moved off of the backdrop to create space, create depth. And I put the camera not on my computer anymore, so it won't jiggle. I mean, it only takes 7 years to learn these lessons because I'm an idiot. Before we get into it, let me make sure that we're live on Rumble. I unfortunately can't access my Twitter feed because I've been locked out of my account. Just so pathetic, Kitty724 says in a Rumble rant on Rumble. Before we get into all of it, standard disclaimers. YouTube takes 30% of all super chats. For those of you who choose to support the channel through super chats, YouTube takes 30% of this. If you don't like that and you want to support the channel, Rumble, where we are simultaneously streaming, and in fact, where we will go over to exclusively at about the 30-minute mark, because Rumble good, YouTube not good. Rumble has Rumble rants. They take 20%. You can feel better. We, the creator, get more. And you are supporting a platform that supports free speech, unlike YouTube and now Twitter. Those bastards. No medical information, no election fortification advice, no legal advice, but we're going to talk about some shit tonight, people, that has hit the fan, and you can't ask questions anymore. You can't ask questions. We'll get into it. What a joke. All these debates, all the Dems are the same. What a joke is Fetterman is not a joke. Fetterman is a very sad situation. He needs family to take care of him and not exploit him. Whatever. We talked about that. We might get into it again tonight. Have a good live stream. I am off to a church celebration, but we'll, of course, watch this later. Nothing but good topics, I think. Tonight is good stuff. I mean, the story heard around the world. And it's not a question. There's no joy in the story. Someone, got assaulted, but how? The details are scant and the details are curious. Did Rittenhouse correctly mark his territory as per daily instruction? I don't get the chat, but I thank you for it. All right, I'll read one more chat, and then I'm going to... Still lots of echo. Okay, hold on just 1 second. Hold on. I'm going to put up the map. Okay, give me 30 seconds. Okay, there we go. There we go. That should be better. You see the map? Let's just do that. Okay. Is that better? That's better. You can hear it. Okay. That should be better. Is that better, people? And I don't think it's the mic. I think it's just the way I set up the room when I was USB live. No, because it's a problem with the mic. It has been a mic issue the entire time. I'm not rebooting this goddamn computer. Okay, now it's going to have gotten better for two reasons. My apologies, everybody. I'm an idiot. I went from using the Mac built-in mic to using the camera mic, which I've never used before. There's a $5 super chat from Lander15 says, your audio is horrible. I think I fixed it. Is it better now? I think we fixed it. I want to pretend that these are things that I do on purpose to like make people to generate. Okay. Is it better now? Sorry about that, everyone. It's a good thing I didn't get into my my Twitter extravaganza. Wrong mic, wrong mic, wrong mic. Mic is not on. Viva, it's not the mic. Panicked. You are not using the correct mic. Mic is wrong. You might see me sweating through my shirt again, everybody. My New Zealand bank won't let me Rumble rant, but it will let me super chat. So we'll give you a couple of bucks here. See you on Rumble. Thank you very much, Jenny Partridge. And look at that beautiful dog staring at the frog. Mic is off. Let me just go to the bottom and say, got it. Okay. Jeez Louise. Oh, Lord. Got to get out. Got to get here with that hair. I'm married. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. One of these days, I'll get it smooth. Can you do a segment on the big chess lawsuit, Hans Niemann versus Magnus Carlsen, etc.? Absolutely. I'll do that this week. That's fantastic. And I know what's going on. That is one. I haven't read the lawsuit, but I can imagine in the game of chess, accusing your opponent of cheating is a highly defamatory statement. You know, my grandmother, God bless her soul, got accused of cheating at golf. Was banned from golf courses because she cheated at golf. But you know, when you're a 75-year-old lady in I think it was Century Village or maybe Fort Lauderdale, you know, being accused of cheating or in fact cheating, but let's just say being accused of cheating, not a big deal. When you're a chess player and opponents might believe that you're cheating or you are in fact cheating, but someone accuses you of cheating, much more serious. I think it's some obscene amount, like 250 million, but whatever. How does one cheat at chess? So the idea is that he might be getting, you know, like the same way, it's Posen, the poker cheating thing. Getting information, having people play virtual games, hook up computers,
run, a scan of all of Magnus Carlsen's chess games so that you can respond to his moves in real time. So it involves real-time communication. But there is a way to cheat at chess. What was the guy's name? The guy who allegedly cheated at poker. His started name would start with a P. That doesn't matter. Mike Postle, thank you very much. All right, so anyways, tonight, big stuff. TikTok lawsuits, Chinese detention centers across the world, Paul Pelosi, the story heard around the world, Elon Musk buying Twitter, Elon Musk's tweet at Hillary Clinton, which he then subsequently deleted. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Elon's response to attacks should be, is it because I'm from Africa? Okay, so let me just tell you what's going on with me. I have been locked out of my Twitter feed because I allegedly posted a tweet that allegedly broke one of the rules of Twitter. Which rule is it? Who the hell knows? They don't tell you. What should you do? Delete the tweet, and it's an admission. It's an admission of wrongdoing that I broke the rules. I don't know which rule I broke, allegedly, because they don't tell you when they lock you out of your account. All that I can tell you is this was the tweet. I'll get into this just a touch before Barnes gets in here because I don't want to talk too much about the Pelosi incident without Barnes. There's this individual named Matt Gertz. He's a reporter, put out a 16-thread tweet with himself about now a whole bunch of right-wing Republican extremists, whatever, are going to believe a whacked-out conspiracy theory because Elon Musk put out a tweet that said, there might be more to this story, linking to an article in the Santa Monica Observer, which might be I won't say misinformation website. It might be an entertainment website, not National Geographic, not National Lampoons, National Enquirer. It might be, it might be a National Enquirer type. In 2016, the Santa Monica Observer and the same journalist who wrote the piece that Elon Musk linked to wrote a piece that Hillary Clinton died in 2016, and it's a body double that has since been replaced for her. Some people might believe it. I don't judge them. Everyone's entitled to believe what they want to believe, and if it doesn't hurt other people in a meaningful sense, not in a how dare you say that sense. The guy puts out a 16-thread tweet with himself. How people are going to believe this crazy conspiracy theory, and it tweets, replies to himself, replies to himself, replies to himself. I had responded to him 2 times before in two separate tweets, and then I just retweet his tweet, and I say, a 16-tweet thread with himself explaining everything that happened before police released body cam footage or disclose where they found DePop's clothing, because that's what I want to know. And Matt Gertz accuses others of conspiracy theory disinformation. Massive events will generate massive discussion, period. And my punctuation was correct. It was the next sentence. It was clear. That's my tweet. That's my tweet. Violating one of our rules. This happened, by the way, the tweet got flagged at 4:25 Eastern time. And I published the tweet at 4:25. It was within 30 seconds, maybe within a minute. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's the tweet. Anyone want to take a wild guess as to what rule that can possibly, in any realm of the universe, violate? I'm open to suggestions. So it says, hold on. It says, what do you do? What can you do? Well, you can delete the tweet. By clicking delete, you acknowledge that your tweet violated the Twitter rules. I don't have enough middle fingers to say how I feel about that recommendation. We interviewed James O'Keefe, and he said, the biggest mistake of his life, or the thing that he regrets the most, was having borne false witness to himself. Ordinarily, if I could see the tweet violating a rule, I might be inclined to delete it, not waste 2 hours or 2 days or whatever to get the account back. Load of crap. I'm not deleting that tweet. I'm not acknowledging that I broke any rules, because that is something that the powers that be will hold against you forever. What's very interesting is how that tweet, innocuous as it is, because it's innocuous. I'm not making any positive affirmations. I'm not making any name calling. harassment, targeted doxing, whatever. It's innocuous and pointing to the fact that, in as much as someone wants to criticize Elon Musk for having shared an article, which he might not really have known what the Santa Monica Observer was, in as much as, people want to float conspiracy theories, and I'm saying conspiracy theories, and we'll get into it when Barnes gets here. The idea that, mainstream media, within 24 hours, they don't even know where the guy's pants are. They can say that right-wing extremists, that this is the result of political rhetoric, right-wing, far-right political vitriol. Load of crap. I'm, you know what? Let's talk about it until Barnes gets here. Paul Pelosi was apparently violently attacked by what is being described as an intruder into his house at 2 a.m, who broke through a window with a hammer, allegedly, as the reports are currently going, was heard saying, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" or is alleged to have said, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" Paul Pelosi ends up in the hospital, allegedly with a fractured skull and I believe a broken bone on his arm or injuries to his arm, underwent surgery, is expected to make a full recovery. Those are the initial details. Some are calling it an attempted political assassination. And then details come out that the individual, there was a police call placed where it's the reporting person, RP, saying, someone's in my house. I don't know who he is, but his name is David and he's a friend. That audio recording on the police recording was actually, from what I can tell, deleted afterwards. I'm going to bring Barnes in so that we can get it. Robert, I saw it. We have to start with the big one before we go. I'll lay the facts down. Then we're going to get into what we think of all of this. That recording dispatch was deleted from the list, from the docket. The man was arrested allegedly after having lunged at Paul Pelosi and struck him with a hammer in his underwear. Allegedly, apparently, a third person opened the door to let the police in. And both the man and Paul Pelosi were, at least one was in their underwear. Both had hammers, apparently, but maybe it turns out that only Paul had a hammer and the man grabbed the hammer from him. The man was in his underwear. We don't know where his clothes are. We don't know who let the person in. Apparently, the initial dispatch was a wellness check on Paul Pelosi. And then it turns out that the assailant, the accused, still innocent, legally innocent, is a Berkeley resident, mentally unwell individual who had contacts with nudist individuals, himself was a nudist, hemp jewelry making individual who resided in Berkeley. He's in jail. Paul Pelosi has had a surgery and is expected to make a full recovery. And people are running with, Robert, help the world make sense for us. Did I miss any salient facts or allegations? Because the facts are not yet known. The individual, 42 years old, Canadian, from British Columbia, moved to Berkeley, is clearly mentally unwell by all accounts. His girlfriend, Gypsy something or other, is a nudist. Apparently, she's in jail. Allegedly, I'm not sure if we know the reasons for which she's in jail. The guy allegedly broke into Paul Pelosi's home at 2:40 or 2 whatever in the morning, either in his underwear or got in his underwear afterwards. There was a wellness check. There was a call to the police. Paul Pelosi said he was going to the bathroom, got on his phone. Police were let in by a third party. The man allegedly lunged at, struck Paul Pelosi, and that's it. Did I miss any relevant facts there?
Well, we don't know all the facts. There's some terrible memes in our live chat at vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Visual images you won't be able to lock out anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, this story smelled like Juicy Smollet's kind of story. In other words, that not saying that Pelosi faked it. It's just saying that the media narrative, the Democratic narrative, makes no sense. So that the Democrats jumped on this story right away, not as a problem of crime being epidemic in San Francisco, which it is, not as some oddball incident, but it clearly must be right-wingers break into the House as an extension of January 6th to attack poor Paul Pelosi. And it's like, in San Francisco at 2:30 in the morning, it's like, I don't think so. So then, as Harmeet Dillon pointed out, and as others have pointed out, there's intense security around Pelosi's house. Almost all. I mean, she explained that it was tough to get service of process because of how intense the security is. There's been no explanation about that. There apparently is video camera footage. None of it has been released or disclosed. There's been contradictory stories out of the San Francisco Police Department. The initial story was that there was a third person present. Now they're saying, no, there wasn't a third person present. But, I mean, the wellness check thing doesn't make any sense. Why somebody else would be in their underwear doesn't make any sense. The only footage we've seen of any glass being broken is where the glass is coming out, not going in.
I'll say what I said about that theory is that, I mean, look, I've never broken into a house before, but I can imagine if you smash a hammer through the glass, you can get it pointed through, and then to pull it back, you can pull the window out. I could see that. I wouldn't place too much weight on that. But Robert, for people who are saying, in response to the security query, people are saying, well, Nancy Pelosi was out of town. It's like the residence is not left unattended, unsecured while Pelosi's out of town. I mean, people can do a number of things to a property when Pelosi's out of town. Is that a wrong way to respond?
I mean, put it this way. There's been no official confirmation that there was no security present. Right. So, and the thing with the glass is the doors don't even match, right? The talk is that he broke in through a sliding door. The doors we've seen photos of glass footage are not sliding doors. So was there something else going on? I mean, all of it. And this is the same Paul Pelosi who was recently arrested for DUI. So there's a lot of anomalies with this story. The attempt by the media and by Democrats to try to blame this on Republicans was just
immediately.
Immediately. I mean, Bob Woodward embarrassing himself on national TV suggesting this. I mean, what a lazy so-called investigative journalist. He's always really been a CIA boy, but that's another story for another day. Nothing about the story makes sense. At least the media narrative makes no sense at all. The Democratic narrative makes no sense at all. Trying to blame this, I mean, especially after there was a Republican that was attacked by that man who admitted he tried to run over him and kill him because of politics. That story was buried while this story is highlighted, and the media's willingness to believe this nonsense is just that this is going to be an embarrassing story for the media. Glenn Greenwald was pointing out there's just huge problems. He goes, first, so hold on. So a guy breaks into your house, he's attacking you, and then in the middle of it, he says, yeah, go ahead and take a bathroom break. And Greenwald's like, I don't think so.
It's all for my number one question. And I'm wondering if this is why I got locked out of my Twitter account. Where are his clothes? Like, he either is alleged to have gone from wherever he lived to Paul Pelosi's house in his underwear, get through whatever security they did or did not have. And if they didn't have, let them say it, break into the house in his underwear, and then look for Nancy Pelosi, allegedly violently attack Paul. But, you know, Paul is so sneaky. He says, let me go to the bathroom. Or he took his clothes off in the house. Then I got questions.
Yeah, and not only that, it's not clear when the assault actually took place, because at least the police report seemed to suggest that it took place. It was almost like when the cops arrived, that they're arguing over a hammer, and that Paul Pelosi has the hammer, then the other guy has the hammer, and then he attacks him in front of the police. I mean, nothing about this makes sense. Now, San Francisco is a notoriously corrupt town. Pelosi's have extraordinary political influence in that town. So I don't think anybody has confidence that we'll get an honest police report out of this, or that we'll get an honest investigation into this. But something is clearly way, way off. But the political narrative that this was a Democratic political thing, is a Republican attack, is nonsense. Well, I mean, they were trying to go through his blog, and they just decided to ignore all the leftist stuff, all the BLM stuff, all the nudist camp stuff, all that. There was even instructions apparently by the police to the press not to discuss the fact that he was the nudist guy that people actually were aware of. It's everything about this screams something else happened than the media Democratic narrative coming out of it. And my guess is it'll be something embarrassing about Paul Pelosi.
And I'll say this for everyone out there: like, this is a perfect example where one can explain the different spectrum of conspiracy theories. Some might say, I don't know, I haven't heard this yet, that it just never happened. Paul's faking his injuries. By all accounts, he was legit injured, fractured skull. By all accounts, until that's
in the hospital, etc.
So, what was someone was raising not an issue, but questions about the hospital that he went to. Had you heard
that? I don't know about either.
Okay.
So I mean, it's just a weird. Everything about it's a weird story that suggests something else. And you know, Elon Musk tweeted about it, and then I guess he took in response to Hillary Clinton. And even though he owns Twitter, apparently he took down his own tweet, and now Twitter's trying to suppress the story. So we'll see how it. But it just this will be a test for Musk. You know, Musk, now that he owns Twitter, this is the kind of story that needs full vetting. Again, an investigative journalist from the leans left, Glenn Greenwald, has said there's just huge flaws in this story. He said that there are things that require investigation because they're things that just don't add up. How he broke in doesn't add up. Why he's in his underwear doesn't add up. Why his clothes are gone doesn't add up. Why Pelosi has the hammer at one point doesn't add up. Why Pelosi's going to the bathroom to make the call before apparently
the wellness check is the very
wellness check doesn't add up. None of it adds up. And I guess the call has been leaked, but I haven't listened to it. But what we know is there's got to be video footage around that home. And why isn't that video footage released yet? Something's on there that doesn't comport with the official narrative.
There's a funny one that said all 47 cameras malfunctioned. Case closed. Apparently, the cops have body cam footage of the moment DePop attacked.
And you can't tell me the Pelosi home doesn't have security footage. There's little chance of that. I mean, it's about one of the most secured homes in America because of her political status and her proclivity for security. So you combine the two.
Inconceivable. But Robert, a lot of people are floating a name around that others might not be familiar with. I am familiar with it. Ed Buck, do you want to give us the quick and dirty?
He's a guy Democrats covered up for a long time. He would drug young black men and engage in abusive behavior towards them, and several of them died when he drugged them. I mean, it was just another one of these sort of sick perverts that dominate the Democratic Party in California, to be frank about it. There's no other way to put it. So and the media tried to cover for Buck, and Democrats tried to cover for Buck until too many dead people showed up. And so it was those kind of, it has a weird component. It may have a sexual subcomponent. I mean, something about it doesn't add up at all.
We will see where it goes. But the fun, we're going to move over to Rumble soon. But Robert, the other fun of the day. So Hillary puts out a tweet, blames it on rhetoric, right-wing extremism. The same Hillary who says right-wing extremists are literally going to steal the next election, and then goes on to blame it on the Supreme Court justices, implying that they are also right-wing extremists, knowing what just happened with Kavanaugh, which was a legit, overt, confirmed attempt. But Elon Musk then says in response to that, there might be a tiny bit more to the story, and links an article from the Santa Monica Observer. I suspect,
which, by the way, I'm pretty sure the Santa Monica Observer is a kind of a left-leaning publication.
I don't know. The guy who wrote the article that Musk tweeted, I forget his name now, but someone in the chat will know. He had also written an article in 2016 that Hillary Clinton had died, and it's a body double. So, I could see either he felt bad that he was perhaps making a joke about serious injury to Paul Pelosi, or he just didn't realize that maybe it's not even worth redirecting people to that website because it might be like a National Enquirer type thing. But he deleted the tweet, which, as I'm finding out now, it's an acknowledgement that you broke the rules or you did something bad. It's an admission of guilt that Elon should not have done, but maybe he has his reasons. I'm still locked out of my Twitter account, Robert. I realize I couldn't care less about Twitter, but I'm hell or high water not deleting that tweet. So, Robert, before we go over to Rumble, everyone, the link is there. It's get ready to move on over. What do we have on the menu tonight? Bearing in mind, we're just not going to get through all of it.
Yeah. The Chinese secret police issue that arose from an NGO's report. There's some controversies about that NGO, but I put up their entire report. Their sourcing was Chinese sources, so that'll be interesting to discuss what exactly is going on there. We have vaccine case updates: Tyson, Pfizer, New York, Italy. We have a we have affirmative action is going to be up at the Supreme Court. We have First Amendment cases concerning the rights to observe drop boxes. We have the RNC suing Google. We have TikTok escaping responsibility in a way that I hope will get ultimately overturned by the pending Supreme Court cases on the same issue, but it really highlights the significance of what this issue is about. I mean, TikTok basically helped kill kids. That's the short answer. And is getting away with it. We have someone who wasn't a cop, who acted like a cop. Steve Leto called it the fake cop gets immunity too. And how the federal courts just find every excuse in the world to give immunity to the political branches, whether they're the federal government, state government, police, or whomever. And then another about half dozen or so cases of interest and consequence across the country that developed over the past week.
And I'll read these before everyone mosey on over. I see the numbers going down on YouTube, which is a good sign. The woke tech world has gone in overdrive to remove any political opposition from the internet in the last 2 weeks before the election. I just wonder if Elon got a threat. Like, Elon, we're going to Alex Jones you if you don't take that down and apologize. We'll see. Rumble is working. So we're live on Rumble. There's over 10,000 people. LOL, just 5, like when AOC was nearly killed at the Capitol. Where is she? Where is she?
She has insights for us on inflation that she gave us this week. It turns out the government printing currency, printing money has nothing to do with it. Good to get that economics expertise from her.
It's endless. Has Trump disavowed the Pelosi attacker pride? I think that's a joke. Winston did it. No, he most certainly did not. All right, I see the Democratic trolls are out tonight. That's a good sign. That means they're subscribing at least. What is that? I didn't even mean to bring that one up. What's this? Okay. Okay. This is sorry. I'm not making light of it. I'm more likely to believe this dude is a close but private friend of the Pelosi's.
He publicly, they've said he never knew him and never met him before. Though it's not clear to me how exactly they confirm that, because my understanding is he's in the hospital and in surgery. So not in a place where he can confirm anything at the moment. But
all right, people, that's it. Let's do it. Mosey on over. There's 6,556 people still here. We should see the number on Rumble go up to 17,000 in a few minutes. I'm going to end it on YouTube. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the election decision, which I'm going to post a clip to and put it here on YouTube afterwards, because we are just talking lawsuits.